Yes, I walked into the Church of Scientology in New York. I thought they'll make me the next Tom Cruise. I was casually walking up and down Manhattan when I found myself standing right outside this place. We've all grown up to mysterious stories about how the church drastically changed the lives of Tom Cruise and many more. So I decided to check it out. The entrance is nothing like a traditional church. In fact, it's like a five-star hotel. They have fancy gadgets, screens, subliminal music, very enticing. It's like being in a sci-fi film. A friendly, normal-looking guy approached me with a big smile on his face. He didn't look spooky at all. I told him I was curious about Scientology, so he told me to speak to one of their counselors and that I had to complete a simple personality test before that. He said the test is free, no obligations, and asked me to follow him inside. I had no idea what I was walking into. He took me inside this huge hall which looked like a library with lots of closed-door private cubicles. There was pin-drop silence, and even though I couldn't spot another soul around me, it felt like I had a lot of eyes on me. I did feel a lump in my throat, but I'm an actor, so I put up a brave face. He then gave me a copy of the test, which had hundreds of hypothetical scenarios in it. Good and bad, legal and illegal. Some of those scenarios were so extreme that I can't even talk about it here. And I was given a multiple choice of answers for each of them. And instead of a pen, he gave me a pencil with an eraser in case I changed my mind about the answers. It took me about an hour to complete, so you can imagine how many weird scenarios I had to imagine myself in. It freaked me out a little bit, and soon after completing the test, a middle-aged American woman with a very stern look on her face escorted me inside into one of those private cubicles. She wasn't friendly at all and started analyzing the results of my test. She then asked what I was hoping to do with my life, to which I responded, "Can you make me the next Tom Cruise?" She didn't find it funny at all and told me how deluded I was and that I had to do something about it immediately. And that's when I knew this wasn't a free session. She was going to sell me something. She strongly recommended that I join their group back in my hometown London and attended regular meetings, and that this would cost me a few £1,000 just to begin with. I quickly made up an excuse and told her I was unemployed, I didn't have the money, and that I would contact the church when I found a job. She didn't seem very happy when I said this, and then recommended that I bought a book from her written by their founder. Now, this book wasn't cheap either, and believe me when I say it, I really didn't have the courage to say no to her. So I reluctantly said yes to buying the book and made up another excuse that I was running late and had to leave, and she stopped me again and said I had to fill up another form with all my personal contact details. They wanted to keep in touch with me. Now, I have a friend called Harmeet, and I don't know why I do this, but whenever I get into trouble, I start giving out Harmeet's contact details. Apart from his bank account, I've memorized his entire identity. So I quickly gave out Harmeet's details and ran out of the church with that book, of course. I still haven't read that book, but I'm hoping to do so. And let me just play devil's advocate for a minute. I understand that some of the things I've just said might make you think that the church is a spooky place. That's not true. It is a little bit. But I was the one who went inside and asked for help. They never approached me. And as edgy as I was, they didn't harm me or make me do anything bad. There was no hocus pocus happening inside. I'd grown up to so many rumors about the church, which are obviously not true. And I'm so glad that I went inside and experienced it for myself. And that is what traveling is all about. New experiences, crazy adventures, lifelong memories, and exciting travel stories.